If you're using ads to monetize your app, you're basically playing a high-stakes game every single day. And the prize? Well, it's your revenue. The challenge, though, is a rulebook that can feel like a total maze. So today, we are going to find the direct path right through that maze by mastering AdMob's policies. So let's just get right to it and ask the most critical question. Could your app, the one you've poured countless hours into, get its entire ad revenue stream cut off tomorrow? For literally thousands of developers, the answer has been a shocking yes. And you know what? A lot of them never even saw it coming. But that's exactly why we're here. This isn't about scaring you. It's about getting prepared. Understanding these rules, it's not just some chore you have to do. It's your single best defense for protecting all your hard work and your income. So let's build that defense, starting right now.
Okay, first up, we have to talk about what is actually in your app. Before an ad is ever even shown, AdMob takes a hard look at your app's content itself. These are the absolute non-negotiable no-go zones.
Now, most of these probably seem pretty obvious, right? I mean, of course you're not putting hate speech or malware in your app. But the real traps, they're in the gray areas. Take misleading claims. That could be a fitness app that promises guaranteed weight loss, or maybe a brain game that implies it can improve your IQ. The key here is just being absolutely honest about what your app can and cannot do for the user.
Before we go any further, we really need to define this one crucial term, invalid traffic. I want you to think of this as the foundation for almost everything else we're going to talk about. It's basically any activity that isn't a genuine user who is actually interested in an ad. This includes stuff like you clicking your own ads, accidental clicks, or incentivized clicks. Keeping this definition in your head is absolutely essential.
And it's important to understand why these rules even exist. They're not just arbitrary. They're designed to build trust. See, users need to trust that they won't be tricked. Advertisers need to trust they're paying for real interest. And you, the publisher, you benefit from a healthy, trustworthy ecosystem that keeps those advertisers spending money. It all works together.
So let's say your content is clean. That's great, but that is only half the battle. The next big set of rules is all about how you show the ads. So let's take a look at the most common placement fouls that get developers into hot water.
This really comes down to one thing: integration versus deception. A good ad feels like it's part of the plan. Like an interstitial ad that appears between game levels. A bad ad, on the other hand, is like a surprise attack, popping up right over a button the user was about to press. That kind of accidental click is a classic form of invalid traffic, and believe me, it's a huge red flag for AdMob.
And this next one? It's all about transparency. An ad should always look like an ad. If your ad is styled to look exactly like your app's next level button, or maybe a piece of user content, you're crossing a serious line. The user needs to know, without a single doubt, that what they are about to click on is an advertisement.
This one gets right to the heart of that invalid traffic rule we just talked about. You can never reward a user for clicking an ad. So, watch this ad to get 100 coins, that's perfectly fine for rewarded ad formats. But click this ad to get 100 coins, whoa, that is a critical violation. The advertiser is paying for genuine interest, not for a click that was basically bought.
All right, so you've made a mistake. You've committed one of these fouls. What happens next? Well, this is where the referee, in this case Google's policy team, makes the call. And trust me, the consequences can be severe.
The good news is it's usually not an instant ban. There's a pretty clear escalation path. First, you'll probably get a warning email spelling out the issue. If you don't fix it, or if the issue is really serious, you'll move to step 2. Ad serving gets limited or even turned off for that specific app. The final step for repeat offenders or severe violations is a full account suspension. And that means all your apps, all your revenue, gone.
I mean, this really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? It's not an exaggeration. A single unresolved policy violation has the power to completely shut down your monetization engine. And that's exactly why being proactive is so incredibly important.
So, with the stakes this high, how do you win? We know the rules, we know the consequences. Now, let's put together the winning strategy to stay in the game and protect your success for the long haul.
Okay, this is your game plan. First, make reading the official AdMob policies a regular habit, because they do change. Second, if you always put your user's experience first, you'll naturally avoid most of the bad placement issues we talked about. Third, test every single ad placement on a real device. And finally, the golden rule. If a placement feels even a little bit tricky or aggressive, it probably is. Just don't do it.
So let's try to reframe this whole topic. Thinking about AdMob policies isn't a restriction on your creativity or your revenue potential. It's a fundamental business strategy. A clean, compliant app builds user trust. It attracts high-quality advertisers, and it creates a sustainable revenue stream for years and years to come.
And that leaves us with one final thought. After everything we've just covered, from content rules to placement fouls, what is the single tangible change you can make in your app or in your process today to better protect your revenue tomorrow? Really think about it, and then go make it happen.